In the heart of Roman history lies a dramatic tale that reshaped an entire empire and captivated the imagination of millions through the ages. Today we explore the turbulent period of 43 BC, when three men, Octavian, Antony, and Lepidus, formed an unprecedented alliance known as the Triumvirate. This alliance not only promised to restore stability after years of chaos, but also set the stage for extraordinary transformations in governance and military strategy. At a time when Rome was still recovering from inner strife and external threats, these leaders embraced the challenge of steering the Republic into a new era. Their ambition went beyond simple power grabs. They envisioned a reordering of society, a reshaping of military command, and a rewriting of traditional political norms. By agreeing to share nearly unlimited authority granted through the Lex Titia, they broke with centuries of established custom. Their decisions would directly impact not only the fate of Rome but also the destiny of the Mediterranean world. In this video script, we will recount their journey with clarity and creativity, revealing how patriotism, personal ambition, and strategic foresight combined to forge a force that would ultimately end decades of civil war. Grab your virtual time travel gear and prepare for an in-depth look at a chapter of history that remains as riveting as any modern blockbuster. Octavian, demonstrating tactical brilliance, quickly assumed responsibility for defending Italy against formidable adversaries Antony and Lepidus, while moving northward to counter emerging threats. In a dramatic meeting on an island in the river Ranus near Bononia, the three leaders came together to negotiate a temporary truce, a moment when old enemies realized that unity was necessary to defeat a common foe, the Republican armies led by Brutus and Cassius. At this historic conference, what seemed like an unlikely marriage of ambition and pragmatism resulted in the formation of the Triumvirate. They agreed to share consular imperium, meaning each would exercise powers usually reserved for Rome's highest magistrates, complete with the authority to appoint officials without requiring Senate approval. The triumvirs were granted extraordinary legal backing by a special tribunician law, the Lex Titia, which solidified their power for a 5-year term. Following the formation of the Triumvirate, a ruthless wave of proscriptions swept through Rome, targeting those deemed enemies of the new regime. The political purge was both a tool for vengeance and a means to financially support their expanding military campaigns, as confiscated estates and properties provided much-needed funds. Notably, the intellectual and oratorical giant Cicero became one of the most famous casualties of this period, symbolizing the high cost of political opposition. These actions, harsh as they were, sent a clear message: dissent would not be tolerated. In addition to targeting high-profile figures, the triumvirs imposed heavy taxes on Italy's well-to-do citizens and selected 18 prosperous municipalities to serve as colonies for veteran settlers. This audacious restructuring of social and financial norms was designed to weaken traditional aristocratic power and secure loyalty among the ranks of soldiers they now depended upon. Once internal enemies were purged and the Triumvirate's authority cemented, a sweeping reorganization of the Roman world was set in motion. The triumvirs divided the provinces among themselves in a manner that reflected both military strength and political necessity. Antony took hold of the rich and diverse eastern provinces, while Octavian was allocated pivotal territories, including Sardinia, Sicily, and Africa. Lepidus, by contrast, found himself confined primarily to overseeing the strategically important but less glamorous territory of Africa. This redistribution was not merely administrative, it carried deep political symbolism. For instance, the inclusion of Cisalpine Gaul into Italy signified the redefinition of what constituted the heartland of Roman power. Meanwhile, Octavian's trailblazing dedication extended beyond terrestrial campaigns. In a highly symbolic gesture, he dedicated a temple to the deified Julius Caesar, who had long ago provoked the ambition that now drove his successors. While Rome was reorganizing its provinces and solidifying power at home, Antony's gaze was fixed on the vibrant and volatile East. His military ventures against the remnants of the Republican armies, notably at Philippi where decisive battles were fought, demonstrated his willingness to risk all for glory. Antony's victory against his foes, however, was coupled with overwhelming personal dilemmas. While the battlefield saw the fall of Brutus and the end of Republican resistance, a more personal battle raged in Antony's heart. His encounter with Cleopatra at Tarsus in Cilicia marked a turning point that resonated through every facet of his life and career. Cleopatra, with her exotic charm and formidable intellect, captivated Antony in a way that no Roman noble had before. Their relationship blossomed into a passionate union that blurred the lines between political alliance and personal indulgence. Antony's prolonged stay in Egypt, fueled by both ambition and seduction, transformed him from a seasoned general into a man visibly swayed by the indulgences of the Orient. As the triumvirate navigated the treacherous waters of Roman politics, a series of treaties and realignments emerged to keep fragile alliances intact. The Treaty of Brundisium marked an early attempt to delineate powers more clearly among the triumvirs. Under its terms, Octavian was assigned Spain, Gaul, Sardinia, Sicily, and Dalmatia, while Antony maintained dominion over Rome's eastern provinces, and Lepidus was confined to Africa. Amid Rome's internal restructuring and external campaigns, the challenge posed by Sextus Pompey loomed large over the triumvirate's united front. Pompey, commanding both naval forces and a diverse army of proscribed men and adventurers, managed to seize crucial territories in Sicily and Sardinia. In a series of daring maneuvers, Octavian, undeterred by Pompey's initial successes, mobilized his resources with relentless determination. With the masterful guidance of his trusted general Agrippa, Octavian achieved a decisive victory off the coast of Naulochus, striking a blow that would alter the balance of power in the Mediterranean. The defeat of Sextus Pompey not only removed a significant threat, but also solidified Octavian's reputation as a formidable military leader with both tactical innovation and unyielding resolve. The climax of this monumental era unfolded at Actium, where destiny, ambition, and betrayal collided in a battle that would forever change the course of history. In the build-up to the confrontation, tensions between Octavian and Antony reached a fever pitch, fueled in part by Antony's high-profile alliance with Cleopatra. As the autumn of 33 BC approached, both sides began mustering formidable naval fleets and armies, ready to stake their claims to power. The forces of Antony and Cleopatra, numbering nearly 100,000 men and boasting over 500 ships, positioned themselves strategically in the Bay of Actium, a natural arena that promised both challenge and opportunity. Octavian, with a slightly smaller but fiercely determined force of 80,000 men and 400 warships, advanced steadily under the expert command of his general Agrippa. The battle that ensued was as dramatic as it was decisive. The saga of the Triumvirate and the downfall of Antony and Cleopatra encapsulates a pivotal chapter in Roman history, a narrative of ambition, betrayal, and transformation. Through political maneuvering, fierce battles, and personal tragedies, Octavian emerged as the architect of a new era. His rise to power marked the end of civil strife and the beginning of an empire destined to leave an indelible mark on the world. This profound legacy continues to inspire and caution us about the nature